Implantation bleeding is light bleeding from the vagina that happens in some women 10 to 14 days after conceiving a baby. You may think it's just a light period, but it's an early sign of pregnancy. It's not dangerous and you don't need treatment. But heavy bleeding more than you have a typical period can be a sign of problem. Call your doctor if you bleed a lot, with or without fever, chills, or have cramps that gets worse. When does implantation bleeding happen? After a sperm fertilizes your egg, the combination becomes an embryo. It travels to your uterus where it implants itself into the lining. Sometimes if the embryo attaches, it causes a little bleeding. This usually happens about the time you would have your period. You may even confuse it with your period and not realize you're pregnant. Implantation bleeding is normal and does not mean that you or your baby will have problems. Implantation bleeding symptoms. Implantation bleeding tends to happen before you notice morning sickness. You might have blood that's brown or pinkish, blood that's higher in flow and does not last as long as your period, mild or no cramping. Unlike your period, you won't see any blood clots or tissue in the blood. It's probably implantation bleeding. If you have some of the other signs of early pregnancy including tender swollen breast or nipples, fatigue, headache, upset stomach, vomiting, morning sickness, food cravings or aversions, mood swings, peeing or more than usual. If you are not sure whether you are having implantation bleeding or your period, take a pregnancy test or talk to your doctor. How long does implantation bleeding last? Unlike most periods, it usually stops after 1 or 2 days. Implantation bleeding treatment. It will stop on its own. If you are worried that you have bleed a lot, call your doctor. They may want to know how much you bleed, how much blood you saw, and what color it was. Other causes of bleeding during pregnancy. Many things can cause bleeding in pregnant women, some of them harmless and some serious. If you're bleeding a lot with or without pain or cramping at any time, call your doctor. If you have pregnancy blood in your underwear, it may be caused by sex, hormonal or physical changes may be to blame for this. It should stop on its own. Fibroids and polyps. The doctor might do some tests to check for these growths on your uterus. Cervical problems. Conditions like infection or growths on your cervix can also cause bleeding. Infection. Sexually transmitted disease like trichomoniasis can cause light bleeding as well as more serious problems. Starting treatment as soon as possible will keep your baby healthy. Ectopic pregnancy. This is when an embryo implants outside your uterus. You may have bleeding with pain and cramps. It's dangerous and needs medical care right away. Miscarriage. About 15% of known pregnancies end during the first few months. Most women bleed and cramps afterwards. Call your doctor right away if you know that you're pregnant and you have these symptoms. When to call your doctor? Call your doctor if the bleeding does not stop after a few days or if you are worried about how much you are bleeding. The Cares and Cures team want you and those close to you to live a healthy, happy life. Your health is a valuable thing. Look after your health and your mind so that you can live your life to the fullest. Remember, you only get one. Please share this with your friends and family and do let us know what you think in the comments below. This video is solely for informational purposes. Do not self-diagnose or self-medicate, and in all cases consult a certified healthcare professional before using any information presented in this video. The editorial board does not guarantee any result and does not bear any responsibility for any harm that may result from using the information provided in this video.